Two people wake up tomorrow. One eats inside an 8-hour window. The other, they eat once, just once. By hour 16, something extraordinary begins happening inside both of them. Something so powerful that a landmark study published in Cell Metabolism describes it as a biological reset that most doctors still don't discuss with their patients. By hour 23, one of them has crossed into territory that Nobel Prize-winning scientists say mimics some of the most potent anti-aging interventions ever observed in human biology. So what is the actual difference between 16-8 intermittent fasting and OMAD, 1 meal a day, at the cellular level? Buckle up, because this isn't a diet video. This is a biology lesson that could change how long you live. Your body is a city that never sleeps. Think of your body as a hyper-complex city of 37 trillion cells. Every single second, your city is running delivery trucks. That's glucose, your primary fuel. Factories are burning energy, garbage trucks are hauling away waste proteins, and construction crews are constantly patching damaged infrastructure. Now here's the problem. All of this happens best when the trucks stop delivering. When you eat, your body releases insulin, the master traffic controller. Insulin waves every delivery truck into the city at full speed. Nutrients flood in, cells feast, and in all that glorious chaos, the garbage trucks stop. The maintenance crews go home. The cleanup, it gets postponed. This is called the fed state, and for most people eating 3 meals a day plus snacks, they live almost entirely in the fed state. The result? A city that's permanently gridlocked and slowly, silently, falling apart from the inside. Intermittent fasting is what happens when you finally let the trucks stop, and the biology that unfolds, hour by hour, is frankly astonishing. Let's start with 16-8, arguably the most studied fasting protocol on the planet. It currently accounts for 40% of all fasting practitioners according to 2024 surveys, and the science tells us exactly why. Hour 4 to 8 after your last meal, insulin is dropping, your body finishes digesting, blood sugar stabilizes. This is still normal territory, nothing dramatic yet. Hour 10 to 12, liver glycogen, think of it as your city's emergency fuel reserves, starts to run low. Your metabolism begins flicking a critical switch. Hour 12 to 14, here's where it gets interesting. Fasting triggers a metabolic switch from glucose utilization to fatty acid and ketone utilization, enhancing fat metabolism and improving glucose tolerance and insulin sensitivity. Your body is now burning fat as fuel, not because you exercised, not because you ate less carbs, simply because you waited. Hour 14 to 16, the magic window. This is when the garbage trucks finally get back on the road. The process is called autophagy, from the Greek meaning self-eating, and before you panic, that's a good thing. Autophagy is your body's cellular recycling program. Damaged proteins, broken mitochondria, cellular debris that accumulates like junk in an attic, your cells begin consuming and recycling all of it. Think of it as a Roomba, but instead of your floor, it's cleaning your DNA. A study published in Nature Aging found that even modest autophagy activation, the kind triggered around the 14 to 16 hour mark, was associated with measurably reduced inflammatory markers and improved mitochondrial health in adults over 45. And meta-analyses of human RCTs confirm that intermittent fasting is associated with reductions in fasting insulin, body mass, fat mass, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides, all the numbers your doctor actually cares about. But here's the honest truth about 16-8. You are dipping your toes into the longevity pool. You're getting benefits, real, documented benefits, but you're not yet swimming in the deep end. For that, we need to talk about OMAD. Let's continue with OMAD, crossing hour 16 and beyond. OMAD, 1 meal a day, means you eat once within roughly a 1-hour window and then fast for the remaining 23 hours. No second meal, no snack. 1 meal every single day. And I'm going to be completely straight with you. This is not for everyone. But what happens biologically past hour 16, past hour 18, past hour 20? It reads like a science fiction novel. Hour 16 to 18, autophagy is now in full swing. OMAD's 23-hour fasting period maximizes autophagy, the cellular cleanup process that removes damaged proteins and organelles. Your cells aren't just tidying up, they're doing a full renovation. Hour 18 to 20, growth hormone, the body's master repair signal, begins surging. We're talking increases of 300 to 500% above baseline in some studied individuals. This is the hormone responsible for tissue repair, muscle preservation, and cellular regeneration. Your body is essentially hitting the rebuild button. Fasting also modulates the GH-IGF-1 axis by lowering IGF-1 levels, a change associated with enhanced cellular protection, reduced tumorigenesis, and delayed aging. Lower IGF-1, that's crucial. In plain English, lower IGF-1 means your cells get the signal to repair and protect rather than grow unchecked. Unchecked cellular growth, by the way, is the biological foundation of cancer. Hour 20 to 23, deep ketosis. The extended fasting window allows the body to deplete glycogen stores and shift to fat-burning mode, with metabolic switching from glucose to stored fat, creating ketosis for enhanced fat oxidation. Your brain, which normally runs on glucose, is now running significantly on ketone bodies. Studies from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging show that ketones aren't just fuel, they are signaling molecules that directly switch on genes associated with stress resistance, BDNF production, that's brain-derived neurotrophic factor, essentially Miracle-Gro for your neurons, and mitochondrial biogenesis. In other words, your brain gets sharper, your mitochondria multiply, and your cells become measurably more resilient. This is the deep end of the pool. The honest verdict: which one should you do? So, 16-8 or OMAD? Let me give you the breakdown no one else will be this honest about. 16-8 is the entry-level upgrade your biology has been waiting for. Sustainable, social, research-backed, and genuinely powerful. For roast people seeking metabolic benefits and sustainable fat loss, 16-8 is the most research-backed and highly sustainable approach. Start here, live here if it works. OMAD is a scalpel, not a butter knife. OMAD is a more intense form of intermittent fasting. It does help you lose weight and triggers powerful metabolic processes, but it's not intended as an indefinite long-term solution for everyone. Use it strategically, cycle it, treat it like a tool, not an identity. Here's who should not attempt OMAD without medical supervision: pregnant women, anyone with a history of eating disorders, type 1 diabetics, competitive athletes in training blocks, and anyone on medications that require food. Full stop. And here's the biggest mistake people make with both approaches. They obsess over the length of the fast and ignore the quality of the meal. Just because you're eating once doesn't mean food quality doesn't matter. Avoid filling your meal with processed foods, sugary items, or empty calories. Breaking a 23-hour fast with ultra-processed food is the biological equivalent of renovating a building and then immediately flooding the basement. Don't do it. Here's what I want you to walk away with. Every hour you spend in a fasted state, your body is doing something that no supplement, no drug, no biohack can fully replicate. It is cleaning, repairing, and rebuilding itself from within. 16 hours gets you in the door. 23 hours walks you to the edge of what human biology is capable of. Both are real, both are powerful, and the simple act of choosing when you eat without changing what you eat can measurably shift your metabolic age, your inflammatory markers, and potentially the number of healthy years you live. The science isn't hype. It's a Nobel Prize. It's hundreds of peer-reviewed papers, and it's available to you for free starting tonight. So the question isn't whether fasting works. The question is what you're having for your last meal today.